morning, September 17th. Want to do a little T&A to start the week. In front of us is a Wyckoff wave 3-month. You can see here we keep kind of slowly working higher, kind of in a wedge pattern. We do have the technometer up here at 48, which is back to overbought. Not much else to add there. Looking for some type of pullback, maybe to pick up a few individual stocks will look good. Here's the Wyckoff wave growth that we gave a sell here near the highs. It did get oversold, give us a bounce back to the support line of the uptrend. Kissed it and then headed back down with the sell-off today. So this market still looks lower. We've recommended being short and holding short. And then we've got the TLT, 20-year Treasury ETF. And you can see here, we've been short here as well and recommending staying short. Went down and tested the lows today and reversed a little bit higher, but we think this market still looks lower. So let's go over some of the individuals. We got Boeing, 12 components of the Wyckoff wave we're going to do first. 1-year Boeing. You can see here, we've had these markings on here for a while. Possibly we're back to testing the upper boundaries again, as we did back here late July. This still has been a weaker stock and one we think probably could still work a little bit lower. Bank of America. We've been long and looking for an add point. This is interesting here. We did come down and do an oversold 2 days ago and have held above the 50% retracement. So this is one that might want to be looking at. Bristol Myers. Back to 1 year. This is one really hasn't moved much here for the last few months. We did want to note here, we had a quick overbought, quick oversold. So we think these levels, you know, this 61.75 and 59.50 levels are probably important. So we want to watch that, but really on the technometer right now we're neutral. So not much to add on Bristol Myers. Caterpillar. One that has been weak, and we thought it'd fall through the ice and did a backup. We are now back really to the ice level, 48 on the technometer. So one, again, we think could pull back here short term. Let's see if any real selling comes in or if it tries to put itself back together. Ford, not much to add on Ford. Been a weak one, had big volume back here in February. Fell below support again. Technometer's overbought. So not much to add there. Definitely not a strong component. General Electric. One that we thought maybe was coming through accumulation. We did get oversold reading here a few days ago. It looked like kind of a test of the previous spring. And now we're slowly, last 4 days, trying to continue the rally off the test. So this one could look much better if we can get back into the middle of the trading range. This has been a horrible performing longer term stock, but maybe some value down here after the huge sell-offs. IBM. Another one that we thought was weak. Looks a little bit like Caterpillar, Boeing, etc. Fell through the ice, it's right back to the ice. We got a 51.52 on the technometer. So this one here we think could, excuse me, could also continue lower here on a short-term basis. AT&T. This is one that we talked about when we took the downtrend out, come back down, maybe test it. Didn't pull back here too deep. Did come down to oversold. And now we've back to resistance. If the Wyckoff wave would pull back here short term, this one come back, I think, any type of retracement, I think this probably could be a decent purchase as well. Union Pacific, one that we have said could keep working higher. It does do that. We did have an uptrend line here that might contend on the next pullback. Technometer is a little bit above neutral. So one that has been working higher and still looks good to do that. Walmart, another one that we had thought looked higher. Had to jump on the earnings news. Now we've had a nice little ABC pullback, coming back to a support line that we had here marked before. Not much to add there. Maybe, again, if the Wyckoff wave would come down, get oversold, give us a good buy area. Walmart might be worth a look. Exxon Mobil. One that we talked about having a spring down here when we had the oversold reading. Did come back into the trading range, high level test, and back to resistance. So again, we're at resistance, but this would be one to look at possibly on a pullback as well. Dow DuPont, the last of the Wyckoff wave components. We'd had this wedge pattern. We did break out of it. Now we came back to test it, and today turning higher on a relatively oversold technometer. So this is one that might want to watch short term. This one could lead us back higher as well. Then let's look at Wingstop. This is one that we have been long from much lower levels. Back at breakout levels back here. We did get an overbought reading, the most overbought we have been in months here at the 69 high. That was upside objectives and reaccumulation, upside point and figure objectives. So we did recommend to sell out, raise stops, or sell in any type of negative action. We did have quick sell off from there. So this one looks like maybe it could get tired here. We are close to oversold. So we'll watch this one. It did have higher objectives, but for now we have no positions. Twilio is one we've talked about continuing higher. It came off a base way lower down here at the 38 level. It also reached close to upside minimum objectives, so maybe needs to have some accumulation again. So we'll watch this one. Tractor Supply, one that we'd mentioned longer term that we like. It also is continuing higher. So we'll look maybe see how that one acts on a pullback, but that one stays strong. The same area, Agco. We thought maybe this was a decent on a longer term basis. This is kind of coming to a wedge here as well, holding support down at the 57. Technometer coming down to oversold again. So this still might be something that you want to look at to accumulate. Here is a Cheesecake Factory. One that we are short. It has came down here the last 5 days. You see the red bars. So we think this one could continue lower. It's got some lower objectives off the last point of supply. And then Regeneron is one that has acted pretty well here. We did come off oversold 4 days ago. We're back coming into overbought. The stock has slowed up here the last 4 days. Let's see how it acts here. But this is one that we believe still looks higher, especially if the wave would come down and oversold. So that's all for now. Catch us live talking cryptocurrencies, 6:30 Central Standard Time, Monday through Thursday. And I do these updates just when the market's warm. Good trading.